Good evening, ladies. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're trying to stay cool, because boy, oh boy, is it hot out there. All right. I'm going to give you about a moment to get on. And then we will get started. And I need to adjust the camera just a bit. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, Lori's on. Excellent. Good evening. How are you doing? How's good old Florida? Tonight's card is going to be super fun. Okay, so the technique that we're going to do, and all of July, we're going to have a technique. Hi, Desi. How are you doing? So tonight's technique that we're going to learn is called triple time stamping. Sounds fun, huh? Here is a sample of what it will look like once we're done, but I'm using different stamps tonight. So the supplies you're going to need will be your card base. You are going to need 3 sheets of white or cream or a light gray, whatever is your preference for light colors. I chose white. So you will need one that will measure 4 by 5 1/4, one that will measure 3 by 4 1/4, and one that will measure 2 by 3 1/4. And then you're going to need 3 pieces of a colored cardstock. Now it could be blue, it could be black, it could be whatever color is your choice. For tonight, I am using the last of, I believe this is Peacock. This is pretty much the end of what I have, and I will now have to order Pretty Peacock from Stampin' Up. So for these 3 pieces, these will all be 1/4 bigger than the white. So they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So those are the colored pieces. We're going to set that aside because we don't need that at the moment. And the stamp that I'm going to use tonight is called Market Goodness. So I'm going to use that. I'm just going to set that aside. And I'm going to pull in my 3 whites. So here is a trick to get everything to stay in the position that you want them in. I'm going to use a little bit of, you can either use washi tape, or this is similar to like a double-sided painter's tape almost, and I'm just putting a little piece on the back of the 2 by 3 1/4 and the 3 by 4 1/4. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to line that up. Now I can put this the next size, my 3 by 4 1/4, it can go right in the center. Like on my example, I actually twisted it just a hair like that. And then I'm going to take the 2 by 3 1/4 and I'm going to twist this the opposite direction. You can put them all straight. That's totally up to you on how you want to do this. Okay. Now I'm going to start stamping with my largest stamp. Oh, lots of rain. Yes, we've been having massive rainstorms here as well, and I'm thinking it's because it's been so hot. Like on the 4th of July, we had a storm system roll in at about between 4:30 and 5. It blew in and then it blew right back out within about 20 minutes. But I mean, high winds, lots of rain, and it's hot and muggy and sticky and gross here. So all right, we're gonna start with, I'm going to start with my largest image, which happens to be the lettuce because that's this stamp set. And I'm going to start with a light color. I'm just going to move some stuff because I kind of need a stamping just to test it out. Okay, I think I might need to flip. I'm going to flip my Versamat over so that I have a little more of a spongy surface here. Still not stamping in the middle. All right. I'm going to stamp here. Well, this might not be the world's best. And now I'm going to twist this just a hair. And you're going to stamp so that it's going on all three of your pieces. That is why we put a little bit of tape to hold it all down. So I'm going to bring this one maybe right there. And I'm going to do one more. Yeah, I'm going to go off this way. Yeah, that happened to be the best one. And now I do have an outlined image of this, and I'm going to bring that in. Okay, that will work just fine. All right, I'm going to start right down here. I need to twist this just a hair so I can see what I am doing. Well, it's raining here now. And there it is. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this upside down so that I'm able to see these two. I hope you had a nice 4th of July. Okay, that looks really cute so far. And we haven't gone very far into the card. Next, I'm going to bring in the tomatoes. And I'm using Real Red. Okay, let me just stamp off. Oh yes, that's gonna be beautiful. All right, now I'm gonna put a tomato here. And I think I want one down here. And the object is to kind of twist and turn them so that they're not all super uniformed, because you don't want it to be a big pattern of the shapes or whatever you're stamping. Okay, oh, that looks pretty good. All right, now I do have the topper. Let me close this red because you know darn well I will be covered in it. And I'm going to bring in Peacan Pie. All right, let's try over here first. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, now I just need to line this up. And right there, I believe. Pretty good. Let's do this one. I need to bring it down just a hair. that was not great stamping on that one. All right, which way does this one go? Close enough. All right, and then I have one more image that I'm going to stamp, and that is going to be some carrots. Oh, those are so cute. All right, I'm going to put the carrots going here. And then let's put another carrot here. And I need, we're going to put, let's see, I think I'll put it here. And I want one more over here, right there. Okay, carrots look good, and now we just have the topper for the carrots to do. So now if you used a stamp that is an open shape like my example, you will color those. That would be the next thing that you would do after you have finished all of your stamping. So I'm going to stamp the little greens for the carrots. And the nice thing is it is going to go into some of my other veggies. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to set those aside for the moment, and we are going to bring in our colored cardstock. So my little one, we are going to adhere and put onto our small 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And now I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to do the same exact thing, and I'm going to put that on to its base, which was the 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I need to turn my mat over. Let me turn that back over. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to take my smallest and I'm going to fit this back to where my images line back up. So if yours was straight, then it should be pretty easy to line up. And you're sort of avoiding the colored cardstock, and you're trying to line up those images back to where they would go. So that looks like that would be the end of that carrot sitting there. This is the end of that tomato, and then the lettuce all lines up. So far I'm all lined up. Now I'm going to put that largest piece, the 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that onto my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to repeat the process, and we're going to lay down all of this, but we're lining up that middle images to the base. And I want to try to line up those tomatoes the best that I can. And that looks pretty good right there. I was gonna speckle this. I should have speckled while I still had it separated, but I think I can do it pretty carefully. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for just a few moments to let that speckle dry. And I'm gonna bring that over here, and I'm gonna bring in my card base. And this card is going to be a hello card. So now I want to look for some type of shape or something that's going to help me to stamp that hello. Is that going to fit? Yeah, that will fit. Let's see. Oh, I kind of like it right there. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little circle, and I am going to use, I think, the Peacan Pie because it's a neutral color. Wow, it's thundering. Hey, Doris, how are you doing tonight? All right, so I'm going to stamp my hello in the center of my circle. All my little stamping spots lately have been my leftovers from my paper pumpkins, which I love it. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this entire base onto our card. I'm going to work reverse and put my adhesive on my base so I won't have to flip this over. And with it being 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, it is going to take over the entire front of the card, just so you know. Darling. Okay, we're gonna put our hello. Let's see, where's like the ugliest fruit? Oh no, we have lots of rain. I can hear it. It's like right behind my head. All right, we need dimensionals right there. Guess I didn't need to water. After church today, I decided I was gonna go over to Greenville Village. Matt was working, so I texted him and said, I'm on my way. And then he met me at the parking lot and then was able to get me in. And I just kind of walked the whole back section over by like Daggett Farms and the plantation. My niece was working the high tea, so I got to see her for a few moments. All right, let's see. I think I'm gonna go maybe right there. Oh, that looks so cute. Okay, and then I have just these little gems I thought would be really cute as well. And so let's put those on. And I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them in. They're sort of the same color as the spray. I think I'll put one down there. Holy cannoli, it's really coming down. As long as it doesn't leak in any windows. All right, so we have one there, we need one more. And I'm gonna go way high on that one and put it there. All right. And I think we should probably do a little stamping here on the inside, and I loved the tomatoes. So So I think that's what I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp the tomatoes. But this time, I think I'll stamp the vine first and then come back to the tomatoes. Well, I'm going to try it. All right, so I'm going to set that there. And now we're going to stamp the tomatoes. And let's see if I get a better stamping image this time. Ugh. As I stamped them upside down. All right, so we're going to stamp one more this way and connect them. Oh, that's kind of cute. They're sort of not in the right spots, but it's good. It is good. All right. And let's see what kind of stamp we have that we could put on the inside. Bursting with happiness. Hello, bursting. Yeah, that would be kind of cute. Okay. I guess I should not have closed up the pecan pie because I will use that. And now I need one more block because I don't have enough on my table. Okay. I'm going to actually put it down low by the tomatoes. Oh my goodness, is that ever cute? So cute. So here's our front. That was called triple stamping, triple time stamping. And then here's our inside. Isn't that darling? Such a fun card. And then this was just the sample, just so that you could see it as if I were to color them with markers. You would repeat that same exact process. Isn't that fun? Now next week's class, or next week's Sunday Fun Day, we will be ink embossing with a folder. And I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek. Isn't that pretty? So you are going to need an embossing folder and an embossing machine so that you're able to do this technique, and then an ink of whatever color you like. All right, so that will be next week, next week's class. Okie dokie. So I will post the measurements on Wednesday. All righty. So you have a fantastic evening. Oh, I wanted to show you something before I say goodnight. Stampin' Up has just released, well, first of all, they released these amazing rub-ons. So let me pull this one in, and we're going to put a rub-on on it. Let's see. And I think I like the gold. They come in gold and in silver. So let me just move this out of the way. Let's see. I think I'll use this one down here. So let me show you how fun these are. I mean, so easy. Easier than the old-fashioned rub-ons that we used to have long time ago, that you would have to use a stick. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half so that I could put half on one spot and then I'll do another. All right, I'm just going to lay this sort of right there, and I'm going to use my fingers to rub the image onto my card, and it is going onto all of those layers. So the back side is completely clean. There's nothing there. And let me show you here. Look at that. You see how it's stuck to, it went through 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Let's do another. I'm going to cut this one in half. So you peel it from the carrier sheet. So here is the gold, and I'm going to place this one here, and you just use your finger to rub. Oh, spectacular. And I'm going to do the third one, and I'm going to put that one over here. These are just amazing. The other thing I was going to show you, and I will still show you, for the scrapbookers, there is a new kit. It's called Make a Memory, and you're going to get everything in it. Everything that you need comes in it. The stickers, the titles, 12 base pages, 2 other bases that are all stripes that you would cut apart. Look at that. Is that not amazing? It's so cool. I love it. The titles, the Picture My Life cards that would be used for your photo wells. These are 3 of the strips that I did not use. I used all the others. Now this will be a workshop in August. All right, I'm just going to show you a few because I can't get them out right now. So let me raise the camera up just a teeny tiny bit. So this is one layout. This is a half of the layout. So this would be a Picture My Life card. Here's another one of those pocket cards. You're going to get a bunch of tags, other images. This is a title. These are the moments. That is such a spectacular title. It could be for anything. And then this is the other half of the layout. Isn't that awesome? You get the little journal spots. These are 2 more of those strips. Here's another strip, and I just cut it in half. Same thing with this pretty peacock one. And then I made my own little cluster. You can see I used the rub-ons. So awesome. As I just put ink on the back of it. It's okay. All right, here's another layout that I made using it. And let's get rid of these stamps that are sitting underneath. I used one of the rub-ons and I put it directly in the center of the page. So when it lines up in my book, it's going to look like a wreath right there. Isn't that awesome? And then I did down here, this is part of a card, a pocket card, and a tag. And again, another part of a card and another part. And I added gold for this page. It comes with a full sheet of leaves that are just amazing. Some of them are open and some of them are closed. Here's another one. So for the workshop, we are going to make 4 doubles and 4 singles for the workshop. But I just wanted to share this with you. I embossed one of the strips here. It's just amazing. And the fact the rub-ons just make it so complete. So go check it out. And let me know what you think. All right, so that now is officially signing off for the night. So you all have a fantastic week, and our next project will be another technique. So I look forward to seeing you next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. Have a good evening. Goodbye.